Today, let's talk about how beginners can get started and improve. The watch industry is an industry with extremely unequal information, whether it's the technology and craftsmanship of the watch itself or the marketing and packaging of the brand, to the after-sales maintenance and repair. Between merchants and consumers, there is a serious information asymmetry. What's more, what I'm going to talk about today is toy watches. This industry is more ambiguous than the ordinary watch industry. From the origin of each toy watch factory, to the styles that factories are good at, to the technology and craftsmanship, for beginners, have no idea about these things. Many people are browsing the internet by clicking on an article or video randomly. They get 1% useful information from 99% of mindless boasting, and then consult and buy without thinking. In some people's eyes, these novices are big fat sheep. Speaking of this, some people may argue, I just buy a toy to play with, why do I need to learn so many things? If you think so, you can turn off this video now. According to my incomplete statistics, 80% of people enter the hobby for showing off. I can understand that, because poverty brings us together. If you want to show off, you need to learn how to wear a toy watch, to avoid being exposed. The remaining 20% already have regular watches. Just want to buy more toys to play with. Maybe they don't particularly care about the technology and craftsmanship of the watch itself. If I were to make a video on getting started, I hope everyone has a better understanding With a basic understanding, we can communicate without hindrance, so that when I say something, you will have 100,000 questions. First, what is a toy watch and a loose watch? As the name suggests, it is just a toy. It can neither represent the most advanced domestic watchmaking nor the cultural heritage of the regular army, whether in terms of technology and craftsmanship, and assembly and quality inspection. There is a gap between toy watches and regular watches. Maybe some people, seeing the recent upgrades in all aspects of toy watches and the emergence of replica integrated machines, they think the gap has become smaller. It's undeniable that, in recent years, toy watches is rapidly narrowing the gap with the regular army. But have you ever considered that the distance between them is already very large? No matter how fast they are, it will not reach the level of passing the inspection easily. A well-made toy watch, in my opinion, can make some common identification points, and a relatively stable, and a movement that can achieve the functions of regular army. Toy watches cannot completely replace regular watches, so it's just a toy. A loose watch, and it doesn't have any legendary color. Second, whether a toy watch can enter the counter without pressure. Can ordinary people distinguish the authenticity? Many people think that you can enter and exit the counter without pressure. In fact, this idea is wrong. Even if you wear an ordinary Ultraman cartoon watch, you can enter and exit the counter without pressure. Most salespeople don't have the professional knowledge to distinguish the real from the fake, let alone from a normal social distance, to see with their right eye a watch that is only 30 or 40 millimeters. The way they can distinguish the authenticity is more from your personal expression and your own strength. For example, if you are just an ordinary worker with a moderate income, but suddenly you wear a PP watch, which is inconsistent with your personal strength, do you think your friends, would they think this PP is real? Unless you are Wang Duiyu. I'm not pretending. I'm a billionaire, I'm out. The above is what I mean. The part of players who want to show off with toy watches. Players, if you want others not to doubt its authenticity, then choose a toy watch that matches your strength. If you just want to play with it and don't care about other people's opinions, then you can let yourself go. Personally, I think the current craftsmanship of toy watches, most people can't tell the authenticity from normal social distance. To distinguish the authenticity, as mentioned above, unless he has a microscope in his eyes and a certain level of identification skills, if his eyes are really that powerful, then he doesn't need to play with this toy watch. The country needs you. Third, what are the letter factories and original factories? Regarding the explanation of original factory, I have already made a video about it. If you are interested, you can go and check it out. The letter factory is the one you usually hear about, such as NVSCZ F3K, etc., F3K, and so on. A series of toy watch manufacturers labeled with letters. Many people search for this question on search engines, and usually an article will appear. The article says that our country imported a number of watchmaking instruments and many of them were distributed to a certain place. So toy watch manufacturing was formed. Then some mold makers made it easier for foreigners to buy, so the leather factories appeared. This content is not completely wrong, but it's not so legendary. The improvement of domestic foundry technology has indeed laid a solid foundation for toy watches. The leather factory is just some molders. To distinguish themselves from others, they were created. For example, if you have these foundry resources, customize accessories, and mold some styles, you can also build your own leather factory. Leather factories themselves do not have manufacturing machines. They only have resources of foundries. All accessories come from the foundry. The foundry make accessories based on the data customized by the leather factory and then assembled by the leather factory. Finally, they enter the player's hands through layers of channels. The resources each leather factory has are different. Therefore, each leather factory has its own specialty. It's not a certain leather factory can produce all the styles. This requires everyone to learn through videos and articles. Fourth, how to distinguish different versions of toy watches. Long fur is the best. Personally, I think distinguishing different versions, it's impossible for ordinary players to learn. If you can just buy a few toy watches and watch some articles and videos to distinguish different versions, I wouldn't have made this video. Many videos will teach you to look at numbers and so on. I think it is meaningless. If you really want to learn to distinguish different versions, you have to buy one of each version. Compare them yourself to feel the difference in workmanship. After all, not all craftsmanship can be distinguished from the appearance, because some can only be felt in the feel. Through the video, you can learn some superficial knowledge. To distinguish versions, you can't see all the versions clearly. Some people ask you as soon as they open their mouths if all the watches here are from N Factory. Bro, N Factory has closed down. Actually, I have already said the answer to this question. Each leather factory has its own expertise. Some people will ask whether the customer service of a certain factory is real. I tell you clearly that all toy watch factories don't have customer service, so you need to learn more to avoid being cheated. Fifth, toy watches in toy watches. Through the above points, you should have a certain understanding of toy watches. Many people will have a question: why every quote is different? This involves a problem I want to talk about now. Toy watches in toy watches. Toy watches are already toys themselves. There are even more fragmented toy watches. Before April 2021, before the disappearance of factories like N Factory, people may not believe in this thing, because I have been popularizing this issue for many years, but no one was willing to believe me. It's too hard. After the disappearance of those old factories, there were fake N factories, fake VS and other imitation versions. In fact, they have always existed, but people just didn't know about it. Some people will mix these fake versions together. Anyway, you can't tell the difference from the appearance. This version, now there is even a fake C. This is why some people can buy a toy watch. To buy a toy watch that they think is of this version. Okay, they think they have found a reliable channel. In fact, they are just easy to be fooled. Sixth, in conclusion, I just want you to know what a toy watch is. Would you like to buy such a toy watch? If you want to get in, you have to learn by yourself. Some people will say I just want to hear the key points. Don't say so much. Every sentence in every video is the key point. To improve, you can only watch and learn more. There is no other way. I don't think toy watches can replace the regular army. Toy watches just make us closer to and understand the regular army. Poverty brought us together. Due to some factors, we can only choose toy watches temporarily, but I hope everyone will no longer be poor, and can afford the regular watches and have a certification on the forum. Watches are no longer a necessity of life. The ability to develop and produce watches is not as crucial as other high-tech fields. However, our country is a cultural power. I hope that while toy watches exist, can make our domestic watches better and better. This is just a sincere love for watches. That's all for the beginner section. I will make a series of popularization videos. If you think what I said is okay, please leave a comment, a triple like. Serious, I'm you, and see you in the next episode.